movie.
Nice, long one. Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream movie show. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. Welcome aboard.
How are you, Nick?
I am very good.
Very hot?
Thanks.
No, you mean you look really sweaty.
I've got a bit of a sheen.
It is a bit warm. It's warm. What are we talking about this week?
We are talking about a movie, and it's my favourite time of the week when we get to talk about a movie.
Me too.
And this week, we are going to Canada. We are talking about the Disappearance at Clifton Hill.
Oh, you said that like it was a spooky movie.
That's what I expected.
Me too. I expected a horror film.
From all my research, which
Yep.
was seeing the poster and
Did you watch
reading the
trailer?
synopsis, I thought, oh, we're getting a haunted house, maybe?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Is that because I said hall instead of hill during the last episode?
I don't think so, because the poster is very that sort of
Yeah, it
vibe, isn't it?
No, but it isn't at all like that, though, is it?
No, not
it's
at all.
a drama. It's a mystery thriller.
It is.
So who done it?
Yeah.
It's again, like Nick says, it's called The Disappearance at Clifton Hill. It's from 2019. It is a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 40 minutes and is currently rated at 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Stars a lady called Tuppence Middleton.
Great name.
Great name. She plays Abby. You'll know her if you've got Netflix because she's in Sense8, which is Netflix's big TV show that they did a few years ago.
It's quite an early success.
Yeah, it was.
For them,
I think it was one of their earliest shows. She's also in Mank. Which
Okay.
I've not got to yet.
No.
She's in the Imitation Game.
I've seen that.
I have as well, with Benedict Cumberbatch. And she's also in The Current War, which I also believe is Benedict Cumberbatch. Also stars a lady called Hannah Gross. Not so good name.
No, maybe not.
She plays her Abby's sister, Laurie. She's in Joker.
Okay.
And she's also in Mindhunter, which is another Netflix TV show.
Sure.
And then, rather randomly, this film stars David Cronenberg
Yeah.
as Walter.
And again, I knew that he was in this ahead of time before I switched it on and watched it.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, we're just getting a cameo. No.
No, he's like the
He's
third
pretty
biggest
important.
character in it. Yeah, he is. He's like the guy who brings it all together.
I mean, also, we'll get into this more as we go on. First time we've had anyone playing the role of a podcaster
Exactly.
on the podcast.
It's a podcasting film. We've got a podcasting film. Yeah, he's not known for his acting, is he? He's more of a filmmaker.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, he's in it, and he's good in it.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, so I've got no issue with it. It's directed by a guy called Albert Shin.
Good name.
Another good name. You probably won't have heard of anything he's done before. He also wrote this film alongside a guy called James Schultz, who again, probably won't have heard of.
Good.
Do you have a one-word review?
Splashy.
Splashy?
Yeah.
Why?
Lots of splashing.
Fair enough.
Things getting found in the water.
Yeah.
People going over the falls.
It's set, yeah, we should probably say it's set on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
It is, yeah.
Which is the more commercial side, isn't it?
I think that my first real positive of this would be they really use the setting well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's kind of out of season, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they really ramp up the creepy factor of this small town.
Yeah.
But with all these sort of tourist lights switched off sort of thing. I really like that. I thought it was a good... Yeah, they really nailed the setting and it really added to this, I thought.
I agree. I thought it was really... It came across as like a really eerie place, but it's actually not. It's like, It's like one of the most famous places in the world. We've actually been to Niagara Falls together.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should put some pictures out.
Okay, fine. We went to the American side.
We
didn't
did, yeah, which is nice. It's like a park, whereas the Canadian side's like a tourist
theme park.
Yeah. So where does this film start, Nick?
A man catches some trout.
He does indeed.
Instead, lake, basin.
Basin, yeah, it is a basin. Walter calls it a basin later on. Yeah, it's at the bottom and a bit further downriver to Niagara Falls.
Correct.
Yeah, they're fishing. There's a young family. So there's a father, 2 daughters and a mother.
Sure.
The young girl, who is Abby, as a youngster, she goes off to get some water.
I think she's 7.
Is she?
I'm sure that's what she says later.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
She goes off to get some water from this spring, I guess, or tap, or whatever it was. And while she's there, she sees a young boy.
So she's at the bottom of a gully, isn't she?
Yeah, good word.
And there's sort of a road running along the top of the ridge.
Yeah.
And she spots this boy about halfway up.
Yeah.
And he spots her.
Yeah, he does. They see each other. They make eye contact. The boy's only got one eye. He has a patch over his other eye. And then suddenly he gets bundled into the back of a car. He gets beat up a little bit, knocked out, and then bundled into the boot of the car.
Yeah, he tells Abby to shush.
Yeah, she puts his finger to him.
I mean, if I'm being really picky, she was either very lucky or very skilled to not be spotted by this couple.
Yeah, I agree.
Because she wasn't very far away from the one-eyed boy.
She wasn't.
And he was found pretty quickly and easily by these people.
Yeah. So eventually he gets bundled off into the back of this car. Abby sees the whole thing.
The adults are arguing, aren't they?
Yes.
Sort of a bit indistinct, but sort of yelling
Shit's
at
going
each other.
down. Yeah. And then the film goes into its title card.
Why was it jazz?
I don't know. There's a weird soundtrack to this film.
Yeah, the jazz didn't fit for me.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Maybe it just added to the eeriness. It's not so bad when we're out and about in the town, but just over the titles, it was odd.
Yeah, strange. Strange decision. We cut straight from the title card back to a young girl on the bus who we quickly find out is Abby as a grown-up.
Sure.
It's a few years later, probably 20 years later.
Yeah, fair guess.
She meets up with a solicitor. She meets up with her sister, and they together meet up with a solicitor.
They do.
Who is like executing their mum's will.
Correct.
Their mother has just died.
Yeah, their dad's long dead.
Yeah.
Mother's just died.
Died recently.
And they have both come home.
Yeah, back to where
Abby's come home. So
Abby's
sister's already there, isn't she?
And their mother owned a motel in town.
Yeah.
Known as the Rainbow. Do you know why it's called the Rainbow?
Is it something to do with rainbows?
Yeah. The bridge between America and Canada over Niagara Falls is called the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh, okay. Good fact.
Thanks. You have been over it. So you should probably have known it yourself.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Yeah, so the solicitors selling the rainbow from underneath them because that was their mother's final wish.
Yeah.
The sisters don't seem to get along. They have some crosswords. They're kind of estranged.
They've not seen each other for a long time, so it's a very strange situation, and they're both sort of like, well, did she agree to sell it?
Yeah, it seems a bit mysterious
and the
to them.
lawyer's being a bit
shaky, snaky.
You can tell he's holding something back. Yeah, I think
at this point you definitely can. Abby leaves that meeting and goes straight to the Rainbow, the hotel, where she moves in, basically.
Switches it all on, yeah.
She just switches it on and lives there for a bit. It's like we said, it's in the town of Niagara. I don't know. I presume the town's called Clifton Hill.
I don't know.
It's never mentioned.
Or were they on the hill when the boy got took? I don't know.
Don't know.
It never comes
up. It never
up.
mentions the words Clifton Hill in the whole film. It should be called The Disappearance at Niagara Falls. But it's not. She goes to a bar. She's troubled, I think is how you'd probably describe Abby.
Yeah.
She's a troubled young lady.
Yeah.
So she goes to a bar. She's in this bar. She meets a dude. He reveals he's new in town, and she tells him she's like a local that's just come back to town.
He says like, this place is a bit weird.
Yeah.
And this is where she says, it's low season. It's very different from when there's people running around in the summer.
She even claims that they turn the falls down.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or if she was winding him up, but
she said, "Oh no, it's controlled from further up the river."
Yeah, and because divert it more to the power station.
It just annoys people.
Yeah, it's just loud.
Who live here?
It is really loud.
So we turn it down.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is possible. She says they divert the water through the power station more than over the falls.
But then she spins him a load more lies, which we do know are definitely lies.
Yeah,
because she tells him she's in town to do a study for her engineering degree.
Yes.
And then she tells him the story about how when you graduate, you get an iron ring.
Yeah.
Made from some local...
It was from a bridge that had collapsed and killed 14 people.
And she literally just heard that story on the bus on the way into town. So she is spinning a yarn.
She's a liar.
At least for that part.
Yeah. She also says that if it was up to her, she would dry up the falls and get rid of them. Yeah. She doesn't like them. Obviously, she takes him back to her room.
Sure.
She takes him back to the Rainbow.
Yeah. It's kitsch, isn't it?
It's very kitsch. It's very, very much Canadian motel. It's got red light bulbs for a start. She knew what she was doing. She takes him back to this room. They start to get down. They do the naughty a little bit. A little bit. Until she reveals that she's a virgin.
Yeah, but she kind of half-heartedly
She literally whispers it at him. So he does.
He's like, what?
And she's like, nothing. I didn't say anything. But he freaks out. So he runs away.
I just put, it's gone weird. He's left.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She's like, yeah, you're too weird for me. He's like, you've just picked up a dude at a bar and then you've told him that. He's like, nah, I'm done. And he literally just turns the proper lights on.
Yes.
And then leaves. So this room's got 2 different lights. It's got sex lights and normal lights.
Sex lights. Good work.
My next note says, the next morning a dude turns up. He's a cock. Now, what I've written was COC, but he's CLC, which is the name of the company.
So he's from the company who wants to develop the land.
Charles
Lake
Company
the
or
third.
Corporation. Yeah, he's called Charles Lake the Third. The company's called the Charles Lake Corporation.
Yeah.
They're trying to buy the motel.
Because they own most of the town.
Yeah, pretty much he owns all of it. He wants to turn, I think he says later on he wants to turn it into a ultraviolet paintball map.
He says
or something.
a glow-in-the-dark paintball arena.
Paintball arena, that was it.
I mean, yeah, fine. Go for it.
Abby
he's just trying to say to Abby, look,
this is who I am, this is what's going to happen.
this is our offer.
Yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah, he's
at this
alright.
point. So look,
He's not
if you want to
if
you want to talk to me, we'll
right.
work it through. We've got 6 weeks. Or the offer's
there was something
stands
to do
for
with 6 weeks or
something like that.
She can't get this thing off her mind of this boy that she'd seen when she was younger, though.
Yeah, because she's back.
She's back in town and it's playing on her mind slightly. And she finds the picture that was taken on that particular day where she saw this.
Yeah, the family picture.
She finds a family picture. She also finds a picture that was taken from the other perspective.
Yeah.
So you can actually see the car that took this boy in this picture.
Yeah, and a woman.
And a woman who just got out of the car. It's a very convenient photo. It's not a photo of anything.
A really convenient plot device.
It really is.
I think.
Why is somebody taking a picture of that?
Yeah, I think later on there's like a one line where the sisters are talking and Abby says, "Oh, Mum always used to take hundreds of photos."
She does.
Yeah,
So
it's a bit convenient.
She goes back to this spot where this disappearance happened, where she saw this boy. Literally, a man walks out of the lake while she's there.
A frog man.
He's a frog man. He's a scuba man. Turns out he's a treasure hunter.
Indeed.
And he is also David Cronenberg. This is where we meet Walter. Basically, what he says is he knows the falls better than anybody. He dives this basin.
Been doing it for years and years.
Doing it for pretty much his whole life, because anything that goes over the falls ends up in this, where they are now, this basin.
Yeah.
And so he goes to see what he can find. He doesn't find a lot of stuff, but sometimes he finds valuable.
Yeah, he says, all I've got today is a load of fishing lures.
Yeah.
But I've had all sorts, eyes.
Yeah.
Coins.
Body parts.
Yeah.
All sorts. He's also got a podcast.
He sure has.
This man's a podcaster. His podcast is called Over the Falls, which is a great name for a podcast.
Yeah.
Water-based podcast. I really thought he was going to say it's called Bottom of the Falls. And I was like, don't be called that. And then when he leaves, he says, make sure you rate and review.
He does.
Something everybody should do to all podcasts. You should definitely do that. See, she leaves there. She goes to visit her sister.
Yeah.
Her sister's like a security guard in is she in the casino?
She's like security manager. Yeah. She's watching the monitors, basically.
Eye in the sky.
Yeah, eye in the sky.
In the local casino. She wants to talk about this picture that she's found and this boy that got disappeared.
So Abby says to Laurie, do you remember me telling you about the one-eyed boy? And Laurie says, oh, look, I'm at work, can we talk about it later? You told me lots of things, you made up loads of stories.
You're a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
So she says, meet me after work, I'll be in the lobby at 5:00.
Yeah. She can't wait.
Yeah. But she doesn't go.
No, I thought she couldn't wait for that, so because she took Laurie's husband instead.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm just presuming it's following straight on the timeline.
Yeah, you might be right. So she goes to the police station.
Yeah.
And she does take Laurie's husband, who's like
he's a security guard.
He's like a rent-a-cop.
Yeah.
He's played by Noah Reid, who
is
in Schitt's Creek, and his name has gone out of my head. It was there a minute ago.
I've not got it either. Who gets married to
David?
What's
his name?
Might be something like Patrick.
Patrick! Of course it is. Well done. He plays Patrick in Schitt's Creek. He also is in this film as like a rent-a-cop security guard. He's got a really good voice. He's a singer as well.
Yes.
Check him out on YouTube.
He was good in this he's only in a couple of
3
scenes, unfortunately.
Yeah. He takes her to the police station. She gets called in by a cop. Who's the cop, Nick?
It's a guy who is identified by a badge on his police uniform as Singh. He happens to be the same guy who she picked up at the bar.
Yeah, what a coinkydink. They get over that quite quickly, and she says, I want to report a kidnapping.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, what have you seen? And
I thought this was a good back and forth.
Yeah, they had a good banter, these two.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, what have you seen? She says, in 1994, and then he pretty much cuts her off. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't believe her at all.
He's just like, well, thanks for coming in. See you later.
Yeah. But then Noah Reid, I don't know his character name in this, or in Schitt's Creek apparently.
Marcus.
He kind of says, look, you need to take her a little bit seriously.
Yeah, because he is a rent-a-cop, but he's like, whoa.
You can't just
You've got to
dismiss
take
her.
some details.
Yeah, of course you have. So he goes off to check missing persons files from 1994.
Yes.
And finds nothing.
And he's really smug about it when he comes back as well.
He's like, there's nothing, there's nobody reported missing from that time. Fuck off. So she does. She leaves. She's not going to get any help from the police. So she goes to check out some old newspapers in the library.
Yeah, she gets out the microfilm.
Microfilm, that's the word.
And we've seen this a few times.
We have, yeah.
In a bit of home investigation, is what you like to see.
You ever used a microfilm?
No.
Nor me. I'd quite like to.
Wouldn't even know if I could access one anywhere.
Nor me. I wonder if there is one around. We'll have to find out. While she's scanning through these newspapers at uber fast speeds, which is what microfilms do, she finds a report of a local celebrity's son who is presumed dead.
Missing, presumed dead at exactly the same sort of time that we're talking about.
Yes. But there's no reports on the police file.
Correct.
Because the police had it down to suicide, I guess. So that's possibly right.
Guess.
But we find that out later on. It turns out this is the son of a local magic duo.
Yep. Husband and wife.
Who had a residency in the casino called the Magnificent Moulins.
Yep.
Which is a great name. And she manages to find a video of them.
In the library.
In the library.
I can buy that. I can buy that.
Local library.
Would have a VHS
footage.
Section still.
Yeah, definitely.
With some local celebs.
So she finds this very 90s video.
It's, very much.
Very, 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 very 90s. And she watches it and she sees they've got tigers. They're tiger magicians.
Mr. Moulin has got amazing magician facial hair.
He has. It's awesome.
It's like so pointy
it's a proper
and
cool
everywhere.
It's a proper cool beard. She kind of leaves that section of the story now and she goes back to the selling of the hotel story.
Well, she kind of spots a woman in the background of the video who looks a bit like the woman from the photo, but
we're not going to make that connection just yet.
Maybe a bit of a stretch.
Yeah. She goes to visit the rich guy.
Charles Lake
the third. Because he's the guy who wants to buy the rainbow. This is where he tells her he's going to turn it into a glow-in-the-dark paintball maze.
Yeah, so she says, well, can I have a job?
Yeah, if you're going to sell my company, my family business, can I have a job? He says, okay, well, come and meet me. We'll do this properly. Come and meet me. We'll discuss it.
And she's like...
But I need to leave now. I'm going somewhere.
Yeah, she says, I've got to meet my family.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to her in the car with him.
Yeah, so she's like, you going to town?
Strong-armed her way in.
She strong-armed a lift into town. He reveals at this point that he knew the Moulins because they worked for him because he owned this casino.
Because as they're driving, you can see over the other side of the falls...
Yeah.
There's a billboard for them.
Yeah.
So they've moved from the Canadian side and they've now
side.
got a show over in the States.
All these years later.
Yeah. And she's and that's how Abby gets the conversation going. Because she says, "Oh, I remember them from when I was a kid."
Them? He reveals he does remember them. They used to work for his company.
Yeah.
And he also reveals that he knew the son of their son because they would have been roughly the same age, I guess. But he says as soon as their kid went missing, the kid killed himself. He says, doesn't he? As soon as that happened, the Moulins kind of couldn't get on and left the area.
And he kind of says, "Oh, the kid was trouble anyway."
Yeah, the kid was bad news. Then, later on that day, her sister shows up at the motel. And she's like, have you been living here? Yes, she has.
What have the lights been on for 3 days?
But she says, you didn't come and see me after work. And yes, I do remember you telling me about the one-eyed boy.
Yeah.
That's what she says. But then I also remember all the other crazy stories you used to tell me.
Yeah, your active imagination.
Yeah, you've got a very active imagination. But then she kind of goes through and tells Laurie everything that she's learned so far.
Yeah, she says, look,
Give me a chance.
Give me a chance. Give me 2 minutes. And she recaps what we've found.
Yeah, this is where she reveals that the woman in the video kind of looks a lot like the woman in the picture.
Yeah.
Which she really does because this woman has a look.
Yeah.
And you are not mistaking her. She's a strange looking lady. And when the sister makes the connection and she's like, shit. And she gets on board at that point.
The extra bit that is revealed here that we've not been privy to so far, which kind of clinches it, is that the date on the photo, which is handily printed, so they know the date that Abby saw the one-eyed boy, was 4 days before the newspaper article about the missing presumed dead boy.
Yeah, so everything's kind of coming into line. So they find a connection to Walter as well. I think he's mentioned in the news report.
Yeah, so her sister Laurie finds this.
Because he was
Walter's in a famous local family as well.
Who are divers.
Yeah, called the Diving Bells, because his name's Walter Bell. And they were part escape artists.
Yeah.
But also rescuers.
Yeah.
So
if anybody went missing in the falls, they'd know about it.
Yeah,
basically.
and they'd be
the ones retrieving the bodies. Because he says you usually would find body parts because it's such a long fall.
Yeah.
The body's just going to break up. But we never found any. This comes later on, but he says we never found this.
Sure. Kid. And Laurie finds out there was 2 brothers and 2 sisters or something like that. And one of them was called Walter. So yeah, things are starting to connect
into place. So they listen to his podcast a little bit, don't they? He gets a number there. He gets to listen, which is always nice.
And he says, "This is my podcast. I broadcasting live from the whatever
Alien Cafe or something. Yeah, it's an alien themed diner.
Yeah.
So they go there. They go for dinner at this. I can't remember what it was called. It
looked cool.
It did look cool as fuck. Even when they walked in, the waitress greeted them was like, "Hello, Earthlings."
Area 51 diner or something like that.
So they head in there, and she quickly loses her. She goes downstairs to the toilet.
Yeah.
And makes her way into the bowels of the building.
Walter just happens
to be recording his podcast and just finishing the recording of his podcast. So she goes in, and obviously they've met before, and she just asked him what happened to Alex Moulin. He kind of shuts up at that point. He goes a bit coy, doesn't he? And
I thought you were from Vancouver.
Yeah, what are you doing asking about this?
And then she sort of, again, recaps, I'm a local motel, blah, blah, blah. And he's on board.
Yeah, because he says to her, come and find me later on. He's really mysterious. He's like, I'm in a blue car outside the diner up the road.
Yeah, third come on your left.
Come on your own. So then she goes back to her sister. Her sister asks her what happened in Toronto.
Yeah.
So we're trying to piece together a bit of backstory of Abby now at this point. She says that she had a boyfriend. It all went to shit when she started lying to him. She checked herself into rehab for a little bit. And then her mum died. And now you're up to date.
So...
This is the story she's telling at this point.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're getting that, she has these... I think Laurie says it later on, you go missing. We just don't hear from you for months at a time. And then you turn back up.
They have a name for them, don't they? I can't remember what it is. They're like your episodes or something. Yeah. It's not episodes. It's something like that. But that's the story she tells her sister at this point. Her sister buys it. She believes it. But then she leaves. She's like, right, I need to go now. We've just got into this really deep conversation. Yeah. But I'm going now.
Yeah,
I can't go home. So she leaves some money on the table. So, which gives Abby a good excuse to just go and find Walter.
Sure.
And this is where he reveals, look, we never found any body parts for him, which we always find body parts.
We found a cap and a shoe.
A cap and a shoe, that's all they ever found. But then he reveals something even more shocking.
Yeah.
And that Charles Lake III, the guy we've met earlier, had a special interest in young boys.
Yeah.
And Alex is not the first one that's gone missing.
You see, he calls him the pervert prince.
He does. Which is a great name, to be fair.
I mean, not if you're being called it.
No. It's the last thing you want to be called. So, and he says to her, look, I can't look into this. I'm too deep. You can, though, keep looking, keep digging, see what you can find.
He's been debunked as a crackpot, basically, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's a conspiracy theorist, isn't he? So he's done a podcast about this story before.
Yeah.
So she listens to that for a bit.
Yeah, which is quite a good, clever device because we get a voiceover at various poits of Walter's character, and it's just excerpts from his podcast. I thought it was quite neat.
David Cronenberg's got a really nice voice. He should probably do a podcast.
Yeah.
I would listen to that. It sounded nice.
Dave, give us a call.
Come on. But on this podcast, the voiceover's like, it's very strange that there's never been a body. We always find a body. We all body parts. Sure. This was definitely not a suicide. And the pervert prince has done it before. And he reveals another boy's name.
Yes.
So she goes, right, I'm going to go and see this guy, this Charles Lake III. And she does. She goes to see him. She agrees to sell the hotel to him.
She signed all the documents.
Everything's sorted.
That's why she's there. She's just there to have a nose around the place.
Yeah, but she's used it as an excuse to go and sort it out. She asks him again about Alex, and he kind of warns her off, doesn't he?
He's like, look, you're very inquisitive, aren't you?
Yeah, don't quite.
And she says to me, I did journalism at
and
university.
He says, don't listen to all the crazies in their tinfoil hats in this town. But then she manages to get a name, which
spots a picture
she does
on his wall.
Yeah, which is signed.
Yeah, and it's of the Moulins.
Yeah.
And Alex.
Yes.
And a tiger.
Yes. Then she manages to get a name of the lady in the picture.
It's signed,
Yeah.
So the picture on the wall is signed BM.
Yeah, Beverly Mole.
Yeah.
Which is quite clever because then she cross-references that with the credits of the film.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, oh, is that one of the Mulans? BM.
But it could be. But it's not.
No.
So she gets his initials off this picture, which she cross-references for the credits from the video.
Yeah.
Comes up with the name Bev Mole.
Yeah.
Another great name. That night, though, he comes looking for her.
Yeah,
Charles Lake the Third.
Charles Lake the Third is hammering on the motel.
He's hammering on the motel door. So she manages to escape. She escapes out the back of the motel, and she runs through this.
Yeah, he's angry.
Yeah, he's really angry. He's not happy about something, and she runs through this town, and we get a little bit of this.
Now it is proper full-on creep zone.
Yeah, it is because it's all the people. Everywhere's open,
Yeah.
but there's nobody there. So everybody's trying to get people into their tourist attractions, but there's nobody in the town. It's really weird.
It's like an empty funhouse kind of vibe, isn't
Yeah. And she does. She runs into a haunted house.
it? Yeah, it's
attraction.
like a horror walkthrough type
maze
thing.
thing. A bit like there was in Funhouse Massacre.
Yeah.
But not as massacre-y. So she pays to go in there and she hides from him in there. But he must have seen her come in because he stands in the lobby and he starts shouting at her.
Was it shout? Because was that what it was? I don't know if
so.
he took the microphone.
He might have been
on
the
It was just
tannoy,
a bit weird.
Yeah, it was,
how it was.
Yeah, maybe he did. Maybe it was on the tannoy.
Because all the lights go on.
Yeah.
And you just see that this is. Oh, there's not much to this actually.
Yeah. And we find out that she had signed all these papers in disappearing ink,
Yeah.
which she had brought from one of his joke shops.
And he says that's my joke shop. This is my fun house.
I own this town. I'm going to own this hotel.
Yeah.
Stop pissing about. Stop gaming about.
And the police are outside to meet her.
Yeah, but he just leaves. He doesn't wait for her. He just leaves out the back door. Yeah.
And the police say, right, you're barred from here. You're barred from this.
You can't go near any of his properties.
Yeah.
It's this cop that doesn't like her already, and a lady cop. And yeah, she's like, that's fine. I don't want to go near any of his properties. So she goes to her sister to give her the news about Beverly Mole, who we found out won the lottery in 1995.
Was this more library research that they got this info from?
Yeah, I think they got it from like news. Once they had her name, they found more newspapers, didn't they? Because they had a newspaper. They had an actual newspaper of her winning the lottery. She won the lottery in 1995, which was a year after Alex went missing.
Correct.
And
oh no. So I know where the trail started.
Go on.
So Abby got Laurie to check the casino patrons.
Yes, she did.
And Bev Mole was banned from the casino in 1996.
Yes, because she'd won the lottery and then was a bit of a twat.
Pissed it all away.
And from that, she manages to get Beverly's phone number. There's a really convoluted way around it, but she does get it.
They also find out that her husband was assaulted and paralysed in 1994 in a home invasion.
Yes. So this woman's not had an easy 94, 95, 96.
It's been eventful.
It's definitely been eventful for a few years.
Ups and downs.
So she gets Beverly on the phone and she tricks Beverly into thinking that she's calling from the casino.
Yeah.
And she's like, we want you to come back. We've got an accidental ban on your account.
Sure.
Come back. We'll give you a free stay, a couple of nights in a hotel, and $100 to use in the casino or something. But she's just trying to basically lure her out into public.
She's redeem it whenever you want.
Yeah.
No rush. And Bev Mole just goes, Friday?
And yeah, she turns up. Conveniently, Abby owns a hotel.
Yeah.
So she's booked her a room.
Yeah, it's a fairly good plan.
It works, doesn't it? He books her a room at this hotel and we meet Beverly Mole for the first time. And this is a character.
Yeah.
What a lady this is. She's got some hair. Quite a lot of it. It's not her own.
I would describe her as Melissa McCarthy on meth.
Yeah, that's a great shout. That is a great shout. She's very abrupt, very rude when she checks in. She says like 3 words to Abby when she checks in. So basically, Abby's lured her there. I think she lured her there because she wanted to speak to the husband.
I think
because Beverly goes out the next morning to obviously go to the casino. And Abby breaks into the room. Or gets into, she shouldn't break in, it's her room. Yeah.
And we saw her take the husband in.
Exactly. But where is the husband?
In the fucking cupboard, isn't he?
He's in the fucking wardrobe.
He's chained.
He's chained up in the wardrobe because Beverly Mole is a psychopath.
Yeah. And has chained her wheelchair-bound husband to the wall in the cupboard.
He's also on oxygen. He can barely speak. He can barely breathe. He's not in a good way, this guy. Abby asks him about Alex Moulin straight away, about the boy. He says the boy was fine when we left him.
Yeah.
So this is confirmation that they were the 2 people that kidnapped the boy.
Absolutely.
But they were trying to save him, I guess. Oh, this is their story. And he wanted to go to the police, but Beverly stopped him going to the police.
He also talks about tigers a lot.
Yeah, he did. Because he said the boy was covered in scratches from a tiger, which they'd photographed.
Yeah.
But it wasn't them. They were trying to help him, but they got blackmailed into taking it. Something convoluted happened. Obviously, Beverly's headed over to the casino. This isn't real. The casino thing isn't real. So Abby was on borrowed time of how soon Beverly was going to come back, and she comes back quite quickly.
Abby quickly shoves Jerry back in the cupboard.
Was he called Jerry?
Yeah.
Quickly shoves him back in the cupboard, gets out, goes back to the front desk before Beverly... Oh, no, she hides in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Because Beverly and Jerry check out because there's no reason for them to be in town anymore. The casino thing's not real. And Abby's hiding in the wardrobe the whole time. Then the lawyer shows up.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a lot going on in this film, and there is a lot that goes on in this film. But the lawyer shows up, and he's like, you may have signed those papers in disappearing ink, but you did sign those papers.
Yeah, it's binding.
It's binding.
What are you playing at?
They now own the hotel. It's their motel. You've made a faux pas there. And so he says to her, just take the money, go and start your life again somewhere else.
So again, Abby asks, similar to the start of the movie when the sisters asked, she says to the lawyer, is this what my mother wanted to do?
Yeah.
And he gives a bit more of an answer this time, but it's still a bit of a tease, isn't it?
Yeah, completely.
He says she was at peace with the decision.
Yeah. He doesn't say, yes, this is what she wanted to do. It was a decision that she had made peace with.
Yeah.
So something is going on in the background that we're not knowing about at this point.
Abby goes back to see Walter.
Yeah.
To kind of update him on what she's found.
Yeah, and she's pieced it all together. So she gives Walter a whole story now of what's happened.
So Bev Mole was the tiger trainer.
Yes.
For the Marvelous Moulins.
Yes.
And her theory is now that Bev Mole was blackmailing them.
Yeah. Because
they'd forced
the kid to be in the act.
With the tiger.
There was an accident and something had happened. Hence the one eye, I guess, and why he's
scarring.
Why he's scratching. Beverly had loads of pictures of the scars. Alex had escaped. Bev is, though, complicit in this because she's the animal trainer.
Sure.
So she tracked him down and took him back. That's how I understood this story. But then they never heard from him again.
Walter's very dismissive.
Yeah.
He's like, there's more to this. You've totally ignored what I told you about.
Yeah. He's like,
Charles
I'm
Lake
not buying
III.
it. I'm not buying it. You can't connect it to this guy for a start, the pedo guy. Abby now thinks that the Moulins killed their son.
Yeah.
When she gets back to the hotel, the locks have been changed and there's a sign up with
Fast work.
CLC Corporation sign up. Then there's an evidence gathering montage. It kind of speeds up itself a little bit here, doesn't it? There's She's going around collecting evidence and it's just all done as a montage. And it ends with her going to watch a magnificent Moulin show in America.
She crosses the border.
She does cross the border. She heads over to America. Luckily, they're just on the other side of the lake, and she goes to watch one of their shows. And they do the standard turning a man into a tiger trick.
Sure.
And
we've all been there.
It's still 90s magic, but
they've
not changed their act for a very long time. Yeah.
Cheesy, yeah.
And then they do a meet and greet after the show. So Abby goes to meet them. Somehow, I didn't get how she got the photos of Alex. She got the photos of Alex's back all scarred up. But don't know where they came from.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when she made the copy. I might have missed.
She had it was during this montage.
Yeah.
But I don't know how she got them. But she's got pictures of Alex with his back all scarred up. And she confronts them at this meet and greet with them. And she says, I'll be at the diner across the road, because everybody meets at diners across roads in this film.
That's what happens.
Come and meet me and we'll discuss this. And they do. They show up. They're not as friendly off stage as they are on stage.
No way.
Especially Mrs. Moulin.
Mrs. Moulin is a total bitch.
She is. The waitress comes over and asks if they want any coffee, and she's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Straight to this waitress's face. But this waitress, I feel like, has dealt with them before.
Definitely.
Because she did come back a couple of times and ask again. But Abby straight up says to them, why did you kill your kid?
Yeah.
She literally comes out of it straight away. And
she says, I want the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want money.
Yeah, because they
think she's there for money.
They're like, she's like, yeah, they're adamant that they've obviously been tracked down for money before. Yeah. People have tried to blackmail them before.
Well, I think that's what Bev was doing at
exactly.
the start.
But she's like, I don't want the money. I'm not interested in your money. I want to know what happened to this boy. And they give two stories.
They do.
Which is, I really liked it. So she's like, Bev went to fetch Alex.
Yeah.
We never saw him again.
Yeah,
he
never brought him back.
She never brought him back.
We don't know.
We don't know what happened to him from there. Or Alex was too soft to be in our show. It was his fault. It was all his fault.
She says it was his fault more than the tigers.
Yeah. And so we threw him off a cliff.
Yeah. Basically, the tigers had him and we
chucked him
disposed of
the body. And then Mrs. Moulin says one of these is true and one is a lie. It's all on tape as well.
Yeah. Says you decide which one.
You decide which one. It's up to you. You've got them both on tape.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then she tells her to fuck off. And Abby looks terrified and she runs out.
Yeah.
She literally runs away.
She'd been doing so well.
Yeah, she had. And she got really intimidated by these two magicians.
Yeah.
Because they did like a magic trick in front of her, didn't they? They burnt the picture and then the picture was there again. And,
she starts having a bit of a turn.
Yeah, she does. She gets to the customs desk.
She tries to run straight through and the guy's like, whoa.
You can't just run into Canada.
Yeah.
But then she shows her passport.
And passes out.
And then passes out on the floor. And then she wakes up and she's back in Canada.
Yeah, back in the police station.
Sitting
at Officer Singh's desk.
And she didn't have her own passport.
No. See, we didn't see this.
We didn't see this when she went to America. She actually used Laurie's passport, her sister's passport. And we get the truth now of where Abby's been for the last 18 months. Because Abby has been in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Pretending to have retrograde amnesia.
She was a bit of a local celebrity.
Yeah, she was this missing woman that nobody knew who she was. She just turned up and claimed that she didn't know who she was. And it all came true. It all came out.
Eventually she was exposed.
The lies all unraveled. Yeah. And she's actually banned from America.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing, but she's actually banned from America for being a liar. There was a whole mess.
It's like extortion and
there was a whole sort of
fraud
mess going on. And the reveal is that her mother paid all of the legal bills, and that's why she needs to sell the hotel.
Yeah, so she used a loan financed against the sale of the motel.
Yes, but then died.
Yeah,
unfortunately at the wrong time. But now nobody will believe her story about the Moulins because everybody knows that she's a compulsive liar.
So
to the point where she's banned from America for lying.
We have suddenly we suspected, but we are now certain we have got an unreliable narrator.
Yes,
which makes this all take on a whole different view.
We don't know now what's real and what's not.
That's the big twist in this.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not the stuff about the money and the hotel.
Yeah,
it's the fact that we can't trust this woman now.
Exactly. As a viewer, we don't know now what's true and what's not true, and that's like you said, that is where it all comes from. She goes to Beverly Mole's house.
She does. She sneaks in. Just
in.
As Bev goes out.
Just as Bev goes out, she sneaks in. She speaks to the husband, Jerry, again. And she's like, I'll help you. I can get you away from this.
He says, I want to make it right.
Yeah.
I want to help.
I want to sort it out. And she agrees to help him. And then in the next scene, we don't know what the rest of this conversation was, but people start getting arrested.
Yeah. Again, a montage of houses being stormed.
Bev's house gets raided. She comes out with a knife and gets tased.
And her wig falls off. That was great. It really made me laugh. She gets tased so hard her hair falls off.
All the while, Walter's podcast is playing in the background because he's revealing the truth now.
This is his long-awaited follow-up episode to this.
Charles Lake III gets arrested. I don't know where that connection is.
Jerry's showing him a load of evidence to the cops. So I'm guessing Jerry's shop said, he was messing with our kid.
Okay. And then we get a bottom of the stream news report because it's bottom of the stream and that's what happens. And it's basically this case from 1994 has just exploded.
Yeah.
Basically, this kid was tortured by his parents, abused by a degenerate, the news guy says, and then fed to the tigers. Hence why we never found a body. And then the ending happens.
Yeah.
Abby's got a job in a different hotel. A posh, nice, big hotel.
Yeah, she's on reception, isn't she?
Yeah. And a man walks in to check in. He's wearing an eye patch.
He is.
And she's instantly like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's not many people
walking around with eye
patches, surely.
No, exactly. She says to him, are you local? Are you a visitor? Where are you from?
How long are you here? And he says, I don't know how long I'm going to be here.
Yeah, she's like, have you ever been before?
He doesn't have ID.
No, he wants to pay by cash. She says, have you ever been before? He says, this is my first time back in a long time.
Yeah.
And there's newspapers, there's a pile of newspapers on the desk that show Charles Lake III being arrested.
Yeah.
And this man says, that man never hurt that kid.
Yeah,
he saved his life. And then the film ends.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I really like the ending. I
did as well.
I've got to say.
Do you think it was him?
I think it was him.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I trust there was anyone really there.
Oh, you think it was in her head?
Well, maybe. Because we can't trust anything from her point of view, and it was all from her point of view.
That's very true.
So, and if you're taking that approach, then you either can't trust anything before he walks in, or you can't trust that bit because she's a compulsive liar.
That's very true. You're right. Can you even trust that she even seen the boy in the first place when she was a kid? It's
not necessarily.
No.
But it's got to be based on something.
Of course it has,
yeah. But then that was the first of what led to all these fantastical stories that Laurie mentions. I really like the ambiguity of it.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
That, you don't know who to trust. I love that it threw a whole shadow over was Charles Lake a paedophile or not? You know, or was the whole Bev Moles was it all made up from a photo and a VHS, and she's put it all together? Abby's put it all together, and none of it was true.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or is it all true?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you just don't know.
The whole thing's thrown into doubt, and I loved it.
I agree. I think this was brilliant. I really
enjoyed it.
I did.
It was a real pleasant surprise.
I was really involved in the story, and I was like, when she broke into Beverly's house, I was like, this is going places now, and I'm really excited by it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I really enjoyed it.
It was a real pleasant surprise.
I wasn't expecting to. Like you said, I thought it
was a neat twist.
Yeah, it was. I was expecting classic boring horror film.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's a mystery thriller. And it genuinely is.
It's got a bit of like Twin Peaks to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Just the sort of creepiness.
Yeah.
Sort of
everybody's
wet
a little
and
bit
windy,
weird.
dank sort of northern town. Yeah, there's lots of weird characters.
Bit of Fargo to it as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that's fair. And it's slow, but it's well paced.
It is
slow paced.
Yeah. But then towards the end, it really picks up towards the end, and then when it hits its crescendo, the bit it hit too much of a pace when it was like, oh, she says to the bloke, "I'll help you," and then suddenly everybody's getting arrested.
Yeah, that's all done in
like
2 minutes.
And it's like I'd like to have seen how that developed, but we're at 1 hour and 40 by this point.
Especially when we've had this whole thing of that police guy distrusting her.
Yeah.
Are we missing something there where actually it might have been quite nice
It would
to
have
see
been,
her go, actually,
here's all the fucking evidence.
Yeah, I've put all this together. What the fuck are you going to do?
Talk to this disabled man.
Yeah.
His wife's been abusing him.
Maybe that's fair.
I think there's one scene missing.
But I thought the performances were good. I thought Tuppence Middleton was good.
I think she's one of the best performances we've seen in a long time.
And the reason why I think that is because I come out of watching this not knowing what that character is, but I mean that as a compliment because she sold it really well.
Agreed.
I like that the end threw the whole previous hour and 38 minutes into doubt.
Yeah,
so.
The whole film's just that last scene throws the whole film out.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it a lot. I very much enjoyed it. How would you turn the tide on it?
Yeah, I think like I say,
that's
that
all
little
it needs.
detail would be nice.
Just a couple of extra little scenes in there just to pace the ending a bit better.
Yeah.
That's all it needs. Other than that, I think it's brilliant. I wouldn't change much about it at all.
I don't think I would really.
No.
There's a couple of little contrivances in there, like we said about the photos, but you need it to get the thing into gear.
That happens. It happens in blockbuster films.
Exactly.
But yeah, no.
Maybe a bit more Noah Reid.
Yeah, a lot more Noah Reid. Always. Much more Noah Reid, please. Or just go and make more Schitt's Creek. Do you want to talk stream table?
Yeah, definitely.
Want me to run through it?
Sure.
So we have currently at the bottom of the stream table is Temple, closely followed by Room 205. Then After, Happy Anniversary, TikTok from last week, John Henry, Urge, and currently at the top of the stream is In the Shadow of the Moon.
Okay.
Where does The Disappearance at Clifton Hill fit into that stream table?
I am going to suggest it goes right at the top.
I am going to agree. I wouldn't have taken anything less than that.
And I don't think it's particularly close.
I was just going to say the same thing. I was going to say, because I wouldn't have taken less than that, and I don't think it's even close.
It's much tighter than The Shadow. I enjoyed In the Shadow of the Moon
quite
a lot. but you could drive a truck through a lot of the holes in it.
You really can.
This is a lot tighter. The performances are better. It is creepy.
It is.
It's weird.
It's a really good story. It is creepy. It's got some great. There's no reason for this one to be at the bottom of the stream. This is a good film.
I think
nobody has seen.
It is. Yeah, it is low budget. But it doesn't need to be high budget.
No, you don't need high budget.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's not going to get a sort of force of promotion behind it because it's just a low budget little crime thriller.
Yeah, but
it's great.
Yeah, agreed.
It's the best film we've seen in this series.
It genuinely is, and like you said a minute ago, it is not even close. I would be surprised if this isn't right up there at the end. I'd be well happy if
it's a new benchmark.
It is, definitely.
Let's put it that way.
I'd be very happy if we saw something better than that this season. I'd be a happy boy.
Good.
Do you want to pick next week's film?
Yes.
What would you like?
I want to play my wild card.
Wild card. Ooh, really?
Yes.
Nice. What would that be? Episode 9.
Let's go from the best
excited.
movie. The best movie we've seen this season.
Yep.
To what I'm hoping will be right down there. Because this is all your fault. You have challenged our patrons and ourselves with our wild cards this season to find the worst movie.
I have indeed.
I would like us to watch a movie called Alien Warfare.
Alien Warfare?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm excited.
Big budget, surely.
I'm feeling well. I'm looking it up on IMDb.
Aliens.
Okay, so Alien Warfare has a Netflix logo on its poster, but I'm not sure. It should have, because it's an old Netflix poster. Okay. There's an old Netflix logo on a 2019 film. So it's from 2019. It's a 15. It runs for 1 hour and 28 minutes. A team of Navy SEALs investigates a mysterious science outpost, only to have to combat a squad of formidable alien soldiers.
Great.
What are you doing? I think you've got a chance here. I'm not going to lie.
The poster looks pretty low budget.
Do you know what it's rated at on IMDb?
No.
2.6.
Okay, we're down there.
We are down there. Let's see if anybody's in it that we've heard of.
What a treat this will be.
I'm excited. I'm not recognising any names. I'm not going to lie to you.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked in that detail. But I'm taking that as a good thing. I'm excited too.
Okay, so yeah. It's 2.6 out of 10. It's called Alien Warfare, and it's from 2019. So go and check out that, and then check us out on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, @BOTS_podcast. Our email address, if you want to email us for any particular reason, is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. I've just updated the website. The stream tables are all up to date. You just need to do some of the writing for them.
It's all done.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's on Letterboxd. I just need to send
copy and paste it from Letterboxd.
Because they're all up to date as well.
So yeah, the stream tables are all fully up to date on the website now, so go and check them out. And also, if you want to, you can get some merch from there. You can buy some Bottom of the Stream. Cool. You can even get a shower curtain if you want one. Also, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. For a couple of quid every month, you can get early access to episodes. You get the movie episode 4 days early now. We're going to do some bonus episodes soon. Nick writes a newsletter every month.
That's due. That'll be...
That's overdue.
Yeah, next couple of days.
And if you come in at the top level, you can get a wild card. So as Nick's just played his wild card, you could play yours and you could pick the film that we watch. And also come and join us in Discord. Discord link will be at the bottom of the show notes. There's loads of people in there now chatting away every day. We're talking about all sorts of cool stuff.
Excellent. If you have got a couple of minutes spare, can you please consider leaving us a review anywhere that you can review podcasts? That could be Podbean, Podchaser, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you can find us, which is all the podcast places.
It is, all of them.
Maybe you could write a review, throw it off Niagara Falls, and then in a little while, David Cronenberg will find it on one of his many dives.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Come on the podcast and read it out.
Can deliver it to the streamboat.
Oh, we could pick him up on the streamboat.
Oh, we could, yeah.
Dave, if you want a lift, we'll bring the streamboat over. I don't think it'd survive a trip over the falls.
We've got to get over the Atlantic first.
True, yeah, there is that. It's a bit rackety. Yeah, so cool. Do all of that and then go and watch Alien Warfare. And we'll come back next week and we'll come back next week on Monday for The Wave and on Thursday for our movie show.
Cheers.
Bye.